Hi, it's time for my second talk. It's free and worth every penny. Today I'm reading the Metro, which is published in most cities in Canada, I think, and I'm looking at the front page. There's an interview with Stephen Harper, in which he's talking about being against the elite, and I think that's kind of odd because to me he's part of the elite, at least the elite that pay him money and those laws he passes because they have so much influence and they tell him what they want and he gives it to them. And so why is he anti-elitist? It seems odd. But then I read on and he talks about expert opinion does count, and then it's clear that what he means by elitist is experts, economists and scientists, people that have actually studied subjects and know what they're talking about. And he says you can listen to them, but really, you can overrule whatever they say because they're elitists. Now, to me, an elitist is someone who thinks that a certain class of person is better than the other and deserving of more power, and that seems to me the position of his government, that they're entitled to their power. They're entitled to, and I don't mean the Conservative Party, I mean that big business is entitled to the power that they have. And that's what elitism is. But he's saying, no, the elitists are the people that don't have power. They're the people that have spent their lives getting information, studying things, and they should be listened to a little bit, but they're not really that important. What's important is people that understand values. Now, it's possible to be an expert and understand values, because there even are experts on values, So, but I guess they're elitist, and you shouldn't listen to them. I don't know who we should listen to. I mean, to a certain extent we make up our own minds, but I certainly don't want to listen to him when he's basically saying he's not an expert. So we certainly, if you're going to listen, do you listen to an expert or not an expert? And I guess you listen to as many experts as you can, and the non-experts you kind of take with a bigger pinch of salt than the experts. He then goes on to defend his laws on citizenship, and he wants to change the laws so there are two kinds of citizens, some of whom are permanent citizens and some of whom can be deprived of their citizenship if they commit certain crimes. Now, that's been criticized by other people on the grounds that it creates two classes of citizens. But he says we can't have two classes of citizens. We won't allow that. But that's what his law does. So he's kind of twisting around the facts to say that without having two classes of citizens, then we have two classes of citizens. So I guess what he's saying is we'll have two classes, but the second class we get rid of real quick, so that only ever is one class, because we get rid of the other class of citizen right away. So it will always be the empty class. So yeah, there won't be two citizen classes because we'll make sure one of those classes is always empty. But right now we don't have to do that because there only is one class. You're Canadian or you're not Canadian. Doesn't matter if you were born here or, like me, you came here by choice. So I get a little bit sick about somebody who tells you, don't listen to the experts, listen to me, trust me. I've increased child poverty by 20% and I've given you $300 billion of debt. $300 billion of debt. If you say it real quick, it doesn't sound like much, but maybe some experts there would have helped him and maybe encouraged him not to have that debt, which he's blaming on something. I don't know what he's blaming it on. He's blaming it on a recession, he's blaming it on oil prices, he's blaming it on the NDP government in Alberta. They only came into power a couple of months ago, but somehow they're to blame for his deficits. I don't get that. And if you understand it, kind of explain it to me, because I really like to know, and I'm the kind of guy that likes to know. I'm not an expert, but I do kind of like to know if I can find out things I don't understand. If you don't believe this interview, then you can check it out in today's Metro, which is probably online, September 30th, 2015. Whatever city you're in, wherever you are in the world, if you have the internet, you can probably access it and you can see what he thinks about experts. And I don't know about you, but I think he's talking out of the back of something. Can't be his head because there's no hole there, so it must be the back of something else that he's talking out of. Anyway, that's your free talk for today. Thank you for listening or not listening. Yeah, thank you for not listening. Yeah, bye-bye.